This is the Lockpicker 1969 and welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'd do something a little different. I did a video a couple weeks back on using salt water and a 9-volt battery to do etching on metal. And in that video we talked a little bit about making vinyl templates such as these I use to do the saltwater etching. So this black part is all vinyl and all the white parts are essentially cut out so that that's the only part of the metal that's exposed. So I use these kind of vinyl templates for etching into locks and so forth. They start out looking like this. It's kind of hard to catch the light just right, but as you can see the letters are not quite, they're not out yet. Typically we do a process that's called weeding that removes all of these the letters out of the vinyl, and then I can cut them up into separate little templates like this one. So, but I'm not going to talk about templates. I just wanted to do something fun. I'm going to actually go through some other things and talk a little bit about the equipment that we use and the software to do these vinyl templates. And we'll show something a bit more fun to do that's still lockpicking related. So one of the things I've kind of gotten into with vinyl is playing around with some other uses for vinyl cutting and vinyl application, and one of them has to do, it's called heat transfer vinyl, and we can use it to make t-shirts. So here's a few examples of some lock picking or lock related t-shirts I had made. Let's see if I can't get a better view of that. Oh, come on, cooperate with me here. And like that, and like this. So what I thought I'd walk through is essentially showing how this is done. So we'll give that a go. So basically, so this is our kind of our craft area of our home. We do a lot of different vinyl stuff in here. This is a Cricut, or C-R-I-C-U-T, vinyl cutting machine. Can do a whole bunch of other stuff too, but I primarily just use it for vinyl. I've got some white vinyl, HTV vinyl, put into the machine right now to do this little demonstration today. To give you an idea, basically we use a program that's called Cricut Design Space. It's basically free software that you get to use along with when you purchase one of these machines. So I'm going to basically make this shirt, or this vinyl, to be put onto a shirt right now. So we'll walk through that real quick. I click Make It, and it's going to print out this, which is hard to see in the thing here, but it's an inverse. It's showing you what it will look like cut on the vinyl. So we have to mirror this because it's going on as a iron-on type heat transfer. So I'm going to do that. Then I select Continue. It'll connect to the machine. Ask me the material I'm using, and I'm going to make sure it cuts a little bit more so it's a nice clean, comes off real clean. Then I can go over to the machine and I simply tell it to load. It'll measure out what it needs on the vinyl. then it's ready to go. So we'll do that. We'll let it start cutting. Here we go. We'll let it start cutting. I will probably time lapse through because this cutting takes a little bit, but here we go. Alright, with that, it's done. So essentially what I'll do is I will trim off this vinyl roll, pull that free, set it aside, take the feed tray off, and then we can eject the vinyl out. And it is now ready for weeding. First thing we need to do with our finished vinyl cut is prepare it by weeding it. We basically are going to remove the material that is not going onto the shirt. So what we do is start with a corner and get that to pick up a little bit. And once we have some of that pulled up, we can start pulling this back. So I'm just trying to pull all of the vinyl away that's not going to be ironed onto the shirt, essentially. Get rid of all this excess. Then all I need to do is go back through and weed out anything that is like small pieces that are on the letters. This is a special weeding pen. It's basically got a point on it that allows you to pull up the vinyl. And this is very sticky and tacky, so and there we have it. This is basically ready to be put on a shirt, so we'll do that next. So in order to do this iron-on, you need a few different things, one of which is an actual mat. This is essentially what the shirt goes down on, and it essentially reflects the heat back up when we apply the heat. We're going to be using a thing called the heat press. Essentially, it's just a big, huge iron that you can set to a specific temperature that allows you to and also set a timer so that you can it also tells you how much pressure you're using, because different materials use different pressures. So I'm going to move this out of the way for the moment and turn it on so that it can start heating up. It has to get to 315 degrees. So while that is doing that, we'll grab our shirt. We're essentially going to lay this shirt out as to how we want. So what I'm looking for is the corners of the mat that help me frame where this is going to go, and trying to center this the best I possibly can. So it still looks like it's a little bit farther over. Too far over, so we'll move it. That looks good. So once the heat press gets up to temperature, be able to first apply it to the shirt with nothing on it, no vinyl. So just to give an idea of what this is going to look like on the shirt when it's laid out. Be looking kind of like that. And since these are your own shirts, I'm not looking for perfection, I'm just looking for having a fun shirt to wear, you know, when I'm feeling picky. So the heat press is almost up to temperature here. I'm going to go ahead while it's doing its thing. It's got to get up to 315. I'm just going to apply it to this surface to essentially iron the surface smooth. Plus it removes any moisture in the cloth, which basically prevents the iron-on from properly adhering to the shirt. So with that being said and done, I'm going to apply this the way I want it, try to do my best to center it. Looks good, I think. So what I'll do is I'll apply it in 4 different corners for 30 seconds each. Just apply some light pressure. It tells me the pressure I'm using on the display. So then we'll move this out of the way. You have to flip the shirt over, essentially work the other side. It's very hot, so just trying to make sure I have the vinyl on the actual platform. And then I'll do the same thing, but for 15 seconds in each area. That, take the shirt, pull this pad off, move it out of the way, lay the shirt out, and I'm basically looking for the heat to come down on this till it's like warm. It's called a warm peel. We don't want it to completely cool off, otherwise it could pull the letters off, and we don't want that. Mind you, the temperature on the heating element was 315 degrees, so touching this too early and for too long can actually burn your fingers. So I'm going to start peeling it. This letter did not want to transfer right. Hopefully. And there you go. A finished shirt. And that's really all there was to it. Now the thing is with vinyl is if you have sections that are a little bit didn't seem like they were going down, but it looks like they all did. You can always apply more heat with using a Teflon sheet. But there you have it, a finished shirt. So hopefully you found this video a little bit interesting, maybe some fun. Just wanted to share something that you know, besides lockpicking that I get into and get involved with. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit like, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on notifications for all, and be aware of new content as it comes out. Thank you for watching. Let me add one quick little note. Not only can you do t-shirts, but this is my workbench, and essentially the white vinyl on my black workbench was also made using that same machine.